It's time to record a podcast. It's just better if I start talking first and then I play the intro music. So that's what I'm going to be doing from now on. This may be the most meta podcast you will ever find. Welcome to episode 4. I'm hungry for more. So the last episode sucked, and that's just my own personal opinion. As usual, I wanted to have a guest for today's episode, but the person who I'm trying to have on is very difficult to get in person. And I've only been talking with one of his representatives so far. We're trying to arrange a Zoom call. It doesn't matter because it's all audio anyway. Turn it up to 11! Ah, there it is. Here we are. I was just looking for this old poetry book I found in the attic. It had mushrooms growing on it. Let's see what's inside. This one looks interesting. There's blood again, with no discernible source. I'm not some wounded tree. I'm troubled, you see. I've been finding centipedes with never-ending legs, and they won't treat you well. I've seen the things they do. Commonly, they're tying ropes, and oftentimes they'll share it. So I'll hide in all my clothes. I've lost it. Why would you lay right there? In moist places, I'm planting rotten seeds. Can you see? I'm not some wounded tree. Yeah, I might have to set this book on fire. What else do I have to talk about? So, I'm 30 years old, and I don't know. If you ask me, maybe I look like 27, but to this old lady at the grocery store, she seems to think I look like 16 or something. And I've been going to that grocery store for years, and I've dealt with her more than a few times when I try to buy beer. She always bothers me. She's always pestering me like, oh, you look so young. Like, is this really you in your ID photo? That can't be you. Is that really you? You know, like, it's really annoying. Like, she thinks my ID isn't real. So I went there today. I got like $56 worth of groceries, 3 cans of beer, and her register was, there was nobody else waiting nobody in line at her register. So I was like, I guess I'll go to that register because this will be quick. But I felt like wearing a mask that day, so I was wearing a mask. Anyway, it doesn't even matter because they have to scan the ID anyway, you know? I don't know. It was a boring story, but I'll keep going. I'm talking about this because I feel kind of bad because I was a little annoyed with her today because it's happened so many times. It's always the same lady. She's always like, this can't be you in your ID. Like, how many times does this have to happen? That she doesn't recognize me, I guess, or something, because it's happened so many times. Always the same lady. So this time I'm wearing a mask because I just feel like it, and I don't want to take it off because I don't want to have to bother putting it back on after taking it off. And she looks over my ID thoroughly, even though she has to scan it anyway. So why is she always gotta... I mean, I understand, I guess. But she always, like, gives a thorough look at my ID before scanning it. But you gotta scan it anyway, so why are you even bothering? Just, if you want to make sure that it's real, just scan it. I know that I don't know. So she says, "Can I see your face, hon? It's just that you're wearing that mask." And I said, you don't really need to, because you have to scan it anyway. So she goes to scan it, and she just keeps saying, like, well, I gotta be sure. I mean, I can't see your face at all with that mask on. So I was quite annoyed just by the fact that, like, she doesn't recognize me yet, because I've been going there for years, and I guess I don't go there that often, and I also don't buy alcohol there that often. But this must have been, like, maybe the 5th time that this has happened, or more. The same lady, and she's not familiar with me, my face, my clothing, my ID, photo, my voice, none of it. Like, it's like I get it. She's an old lady. She deals with a lot of people every day. Like, why would she remember me? But at the same time, maybe you should be remembering customers or something like that. I'm going on a tangent now. This is the part I wanted to get to, the part I feel bad about. Was like, I was just like, I said to her, I was like, I deal with you all the time. And she's like, oh, well, I'm sorry. I don't want to get arrested. I got arrested once. That was basically it, The rest of the interaction was just normal, me paying for my groceries and leaving, and I tried to be as nice as possible. That's a story. That's a story. This is my podcast.
Hey there, Mr. Milk Roots, how's it going?
Who are you?
I'm gonna be your guest for today's episode. Yay! Yeah!
You're a puppet.
Yeah, don't you want a puppet guest for your episode? For your podcast? Woohoo, I'm a puppet.
Yeah, but it's an audio-only podcast. So what's the point of having a puppet if they can't see you? You're just a puppet voice. Do you have a name?
My name is Wilco.
That's a cool name. I think there's a band called Wilco. I don't know if it's a band or just an artist.
Yeah, I've never heard that band before. Anyway, what do you want to talk about?
I wasn't really expecting you to show up. I don't know what to talk about. What do you do as a puppet?
What do I do as a puppet? I guess that's all controlled by the person who's got their hand shoved in my hole. Yep.
All right, well, that's a puppet guest for you. Get him. This guy's getting out of here now. Thanks, guys. Thanks for getting him out of here. I'd like to have a puppet guest, but not that puppet. I don't know who that was. And again, this is an audio-only podcast, so what's the point of having a puppet if you can't see a puppet? I'm gonna go now. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for listening. I really do think I'm going to have an actual guest for the next episode. It's going to be great. I've been trying for the past few weeks to get this one particular person. It's going to be big, I'm telling you. Goodbye. Have a good day. Thank you.